Welcome back to CSI, Three Dimension of Murder. We are starting we're starting the game so we can get onto our first case. Okay, so start case. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna go with normal or beginner. I might just go beginner. This seems very confusing, so I don't want to get too boring, I should say. More of like a storyline going, it makes things a bit more interesting, I guess.
Welcome to Vegas, the city without clocks. In the casinos, anyway. Here at CSI, time is something we pay close attention to, because the early hours of a murder investigation are key. As our newest crime scene investigator, your credentials are strong, but the proof is in your performance.
Yeah, we've got a situation over... Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Catherine Willows, let me introduce you to our newest CSI. Now, what have you got for us?
Art gallery owner by the Strip with an unexpected exhibit on his showroom floor. A dead body. Possible homicide.
Thanks, Kath. Okay, I'm partnering you with Warwick Brown on this case. He'll help show you the ropes. But your own CSI skills are what we're counting on to crack this case. Catherine, I have lab work to get back to. Would you supervise this case?
You got it, Gil.
And you should head to that art gallery now. Oh, and remember, as G.K. Chesterton once said, the criminal is the creative artist, the detective only the critic.
Okay, let's go to the art gallery.
Hey, I'm CSI Warwick Brown. I'm glad to have some help on this one. We got a dead Vic on the floor, and a live gallery owner waiting in the sidelines. Are you ready? Good. Pay close attention. We're in the art world, and if you don't know how to look at something, you won't understand what it means.
Okay, let's investigate closer. Switch to the handbag.
Face down. Spatter pattern on the wall close by indicates blunt force trauma. Take a photo of this. It's always good for future reference. You're going to need an angle that shows the Vic's position in relation to the spatter. Too pretty, too young, and way too dead. Pay close attention to the body. There could be evidence anywhere from head to toe.
There's a... How do I... Oh. Or check out other things. Oh, there we go, I can select it there.
Whoa. With a rock like that left behind, I doubt we have a robbery. This was personal. You'll want a different tool for that. You'll want a different tool for that.
Okay. Have a look and see if there's like anything engraved on it. No, it doesn't look like it.
No wallet, cash, or ID. Could this be a glorified mugging?
I don't think there's anything inside of it though. Okay.
The blood flowed from the head wound and naturally pooled around her. That suggests she bled to death right here.
Okay. Ooh, strand of hair. Grab that.
That's no human hair. It's too thick. Some kind of animal, maybe. Hey, maybe we just got lucky. That blood print says somebody's shoe picked up transfer.
Cool. Anything else, or is that it? Get the
I want you to note the blood spatter.
splatter.
For a visual pattern like this, you'll want to use the digital camera. Then you can get the blood afterwards. Well, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, we got several thousand here telling us what went down. The Vic was hit at least twice. The pattern in her position relative to it tells us so. The first blow probably caused the puncture wound and sent her to the ground. The second blow, while she was down, created the blood spatter.
Lovely.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Okay.
This is the Nathan Ackerman Fine Arts Studio, and I am Nathan Ackerman. My art, displaying the creativity and, on occasion, the genius of my exhibitors, in a setting that is itself a work of art.
Do you mind if we ask you a few questions?
Please do. Consider me your host and ally. Don't hesitate to ask if I can help you resolve this affair quickly and cleanly.
I'll see what we can do. But Mr. Ackerman, there's nothing clean about murder.
My fingerprints are all over this gallery, both literally and figuratively. As I said, I intend to cooperate fully. My life is an open book.
Okay, so we got his fingerprints.
I was out briefly on an errand, and to my devastation, I discovered a client, Rachel Maddox, dead on my gallery floor. You must understand that this is a crushing blow. Rachel was an excellent client and a dear friend. I can't imagine who would do such a thing. Perhaps a vagrant or one of these psychopathic killers you read so much about? Rachel was about to be a bride. She had commissioned a painting and a sculpture, both of herself, for her wedding from one of my best artists. Unfortunately, he can also be one of my slowest artists, and Rachel and her fiancé were, well, let's say, fit to be tied that the art pieces, which were due some time ago, were not ready. I had an emergency overnight artwork delivery to ship. I needed to leave by 5 p.m., but Rachel was adamant we had to wait for the artist to come. I really shouldn't have left the two of them alone in the gallery, but they were respectable clients. Anyway, Rachel refused to leave. She said she was staying put just in case. I believe her words were, "Irresponsible ass of an artist does me the supreme favor of showing up." So that's how I came to leave the two of them here, and I had intended to be back before we closed at 6. As it was 6:10 before I returned and found the door wide open and Rachel in this terrible posture. As for her fiancé, he was nowhere to be seen. This is the most ghastly thing that has ever happened at the Nathan Ackerman Fine Art Studio. What kind of mad beast are we dealing with here? Her fiancé is one Mark Stock, a taciturn fellow with a physique worthy of a Greek sculpture and just about as talkative. Frankly, he has the personality of a doorstop and the artistic taste of a hillbilly. Forgive my candor. The man does have his admirers. He's an ex-baseball player of some kind, from the minor leagues, I believe. As I said, he was here with Rachel when I left, but when I returned, she was alone, undead. Patrick Milton. Many of the works in this showroom are in fact his. He's not a critical darling, considered by some too commercial, but the public loves him, and as long as they do, so do I. Be my guest.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes, they were having an argument about the art, which was unusual as Mr. Stock had never expressed an opinion from the beginning. Now he was making a stand. He said it was foolish to make such a fuss, and the wedding could easily go on without these silly pieces. But Rachel wasn't having any of that. In Mr. Stock's words, he can sound rather shrill for such a strapping specimen of masculinity. He said Rachel had become unreasonable and out of control over the artist not showing up. And, well, honestly, he had a point. She did have that side to her. Understand, I was very fond of Rachel, but frankly, some of the invective she hurled was directed not just at her fiancé, but, if you can imagine, at me.
Okay.
Ah, that was the spark that lit the fuse of the argument between Rachel and Mark. The artist had vowed to be here with the finished painting and sculpture first thing this morning, but he didn't show up at all. Not the first time, and Rachel flew into a rage when he did not appear. Fortunately, a truce between the betrothed had come to pass before I had to leave. They were even, shall we say, affectionate. I felt comfortable enough leaving them alone. The storm had blown over, and they were like lovebirds again. Heavens, our association goes back years, almost a decade. Quite frankly, he's the star here. I've displayed and sold hundreds of his works. I could have sold more, but he misses so many deadlines. No matter how hard I've tried to breed professionalism into his artist soul, I failed. Still, he does sell.
I'm wondering if it's, I don't know if it's this guy, because he said he was away, but
No, I'm sorry, no.
What happened to full cooperation? Your life an open book?
My life is an open book, that I pledge to you. But I can't allow this door to be opened. I may seem inconsistent, but there are many expensive, even priceless objects dark back there, and I cannot risk damage. Particularly when I see no relevance to your investigation, since it's been locked throughout this entire unfortunate affair. I'm sorry, unless you have a warrant, I can't. I just can't allow you to go flinging your fingerprint powder around and spritzing your various sprays.
Interesting.
Ridiculous as it might seem, no. I have never once, in all the years of our very successful association, even seen his studio. As I say, he's quirky. Private to the point of reclusiveness. Oh, but of course I have a phone number and a P.O. box. He wants his checks, after all.
That'll be enough to track him. Thanks, Mr. Ackerman.
Awesome. Any more thoughts about Mark
To
Stock?
me, Mark Stock would be an enigma if he had a higher IQ. During their tiff, he seemed cold, emotionless. He's one of those passive-aggressive types who occasionally erupt, but in a strange, distant way, unleashing a torrent of abusive language, but delivering that invective in a controlled, cruel manner, seemingly devoid of any feeling. They visit Vegas frequently, weekend getaways, on which they invariably stop by my gallery to do business. Rachel did so love art. What was the question? No, I have no address. They flew in for their wedding, and I have no idea at which hotel, though it will certainly be one of the pricier ones.
Okay. Don't think there's anything else then. Nope, I think that's it. There's some weird thing I have to do with this one.
A good idea to be thorough, but nothing's there.
Never mind.
Hey, do you need a hint?
Need a hint. Huh. Is there something I missed? Let's have a look and see what evidence I have. I think that's it.
Hey, do you need a hint? I might be able to help you, but just a heads up. It could count against you in your evaluation.
So I'll change locations. How do I leave?
I'm sorry, unless you have a warrant, I just can't allow you to go flinging your fingerprint powder around and spritzing your various sprays.
Oh, there we go. I was trying to get out of here. So go to the morgue. Then we can go to the lab and try and confirm these, try and match these samples.
Sure, I'll send a team right out. Blunt force trauma, back of the head. Wound's interesting, an irregular shape, somewhat triangular. It's the murder weapon's signature. Here's something you might find interesting. A small piece of foreign fibrous material. Definitely not skull.
Huh.
Well, based on the victim's liver temperature, dead less than 2 hours. Under ideal conditions, the body cools 2 degrees the first hour, then 1 degree after that. So we can put it around 5:30 p.m. Way ahead of you. Taking fingerprints off a victim's body is part of my routine. Here you are.
Awesome.
Toxicology tests show high concentrations of diazepam, a benzodiazepine commonly prescribed for anxiety disorders. Well, it's not entirely unusual, but your prospective bride already had a honeymoon, semen in the vaginal canal. No forced entry, presumably consensual sex. I've got a sample for you.
Thank you.
Of course. Glad to have your perspective. I've got nothing new to
Okay.
report on the Vic.
That's it then. Let's head to the lab. Or, I don't know, let's go get a warrant and then actually... No, we'll do this first and then get a warrant. And then go back to the crime scene.
Those two aren't quite a match. Try to be more sure before you ask me for confirmation. It's all about the details.
What do you mean? Oh, I see. It's like a bit of gap. That has to be it.
Those two aren't quite a match.
What?
Try to be more sure before you ask me for confirmation. It's all about the details. Wall spatter matches the Vic's blood. It's a start. Links her to the crime scene.
Okay. Now I want to check the bottom of Nathan Ackerman's shoe.
This verifies Ackerman stepped in the victim's blood.
Ooh.
Those two aren't quite a match.
Okay, so
Try to be more
never
sure
mind
before you
about
ask
that
me for
one.
confirmation. It's all about the details.
Get his fingerprint analysis. It's not what I meant. Never mind. Oh, hair. That's right. See what this animal is for. Definitely that one.
Squirrel hair.
Ah,
Commonly used to make paintbrushes. Maybe we should find our reclusive artist.
yes. I need evidence. There we go. Okay, so let's go get. Let's get that warrant.
Our friendly neighborhood art dealer opened the gallery 12 years ago and his record's clean. I found some online reviews saying Ackerman's an overcharging, tasteless fraud. But hey, that's no crime. Well, I can have a unit hit the hotels with cold calls. It'll take a while, but as long as our lovebirds were registered under their real names, we'll find them. Even a self-proclaimed genius like Patrick Milton can't escape the electric company. And we got his address from their bill. Here you go.
Perfect. To the studio we go.
And if I am?
Las Vegas Crime Lab. Murder investigation. Are you Patrick Milton?
Yes, all right, yes. I'm Patrick Milton, but I don't know anything about a murder, you say?
Yes, sir. We have a few questions. You mind?
You better make yourself clear about how this supposedly involves me, because I'm on a deadline. I'm an artist on commission here, and I have a painting to finish, and I'm trying to grab a window of solitude while these damn construction workers are on break, whatever they're doing. My God, the noise lately here. What? Which commissioner? You don't mean Rachel? You don't mean Rachel Maddox, do you? It's not possible. There's no one on the planet more alive than Rachel. How did it happen?
Blunt force trauma, Mr. Milton. The murder weapon may have been a statue, possibly one of yours. The perched predator is missing from the gallery.
My lord, no. The hours, the months that went into that? Was it stolen? Please tell me it wasn't destroyed. It's one of my most valuable works. Well, right here, of course. I mean, I practically live in this studio. The demands on me as an artist are unceasing. Haven't you talked to my patron, the esteemed Nathan Ackerman? He called me and tore me a new one, and I decided the best thing to do was to stay home and get this painting and sculpture completed before Rachel's wedding day. I've been bunkered in here slaving ever since. My intention was to deliver everything tomorrow, right before the wedding. I couldn't see wasting time dealing with Rachel. There was a lot to admire about her, her spirit, her intelligence, but she was frankly the worst-tempered woman I ever met. The most difficult client I ever encountered. I figured the less contact with her, the better.
Well, that's interesting.
I live and work alone, but you already know I had no reason to leave until this artwork was finished. Haven't you been listening?
Just making sure.
Well, it began cordially enough. She was a big admirer of my work, owned a number of my bird and animal sculptures. She approached me to do these special paintings to be displayed at her wedding reception. And I told her I rarely did the human form. I'm a nature artist, you see, and I have a knack for just slightly idealizing reality. Well, she did have her charming side, you know, and she said, well, I'm one of nature's best works of art. Are you up to capturing me? How could I turn her down? And the money wasn't bad either. And as I say, I would have delivered the painting and sculpture on time. Nick of time, but on time. Right at the reception ballroom. I'm almost done now.
Did you contact Rachel or Ackerman to tell them about this change of plans?
No. And before you condemn me as rude and egocentric, let me just say, you never had a deal with Rachel Maddox. You have no idea the hoops she made me jump through. Sounds unkind now that she's dead, but really, I wanted to keep her waiting. Let her, no other way of saying this, suffer a little, like I had. Let her squirm and stew. But my lord, I would never wish anything like this upon her. That's it, and it's going well. I'm almost done with it, but I guess there isn't any hurry now. Pity. Despite her ugly side, Rachel was a beautiful woman and a worthwhile subject. Well, from my point of view, it was entirely unprofessional and even hostile. I deserve better from someone I worked with for so long. You have no concept how much money I've made for Nathan Ackerman. But at least I didn't get caught up in a screaming match. I let the answering machine get it. He wanted me to drop everything and get over to the gallery. It was pretty clear from how frazzled he sounded. He had his own generous serving of Rachel Maddox at her worst.
So you're telling me you didn't drop by to set Ackerman and your client straight?
Hell no. Nathan I could handle. But as overworked as I am, dealing directly with Rachel Maddox, I didn't need that grief. Well, frankly, my intention was to avoid seeing her at all. She'd be at the wedding, and I'd be at the reception ballroom dropping off the art. Call me a coward, but you people never saw Rachel in full flaming bitch mode. I guess you can take it.
Awesome. So we got the tape with the recording on it.
Actually, yes. The Maddox Stocks wedding commission is only part of what I have on my plate. And I've been battling headaches and back problems, what with all this horrendous construction racket going on, starting at 7 a.m., including weekends. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to concentrate? I usually use red sable, but I probably have a few squirrel brushes yet.
The victim's clothing revealed a paintbrush hair.
And you consider that unusual in an art gallery? You have any idea how many artists work in this town? Hundreds. And you'll find thousands of squirrel hair brushes. Good luck to you.
Oop. The sound didn't work on this one. Okay. Get the fingerprints. Uh-huh.
In a word, rocky. She was a lovely girl, but rich and spoiled. At the beginning, she posed live for me. She was so demanding. Kept leaving her modeling pedestal to see what I was doing. Literally look over my shoulder. That, oh hell, that was just maddening. Finally, I just banished her from my studio. I'd already taken photographs of her in the desired pose, and these were sufficient reference. And photos don't talk back, nag, or interfere with the artistic process in any way.
Okay, so that's it.
Hey, do you need a hint?
Oh, it's alright. That's right. Let's go back to... what did I get? I need a search warrant because I wonder if that the missing art item is in his locked office. I need a warrant.
Once you've got enough evidence, I'll hit up a judge. Once you've got enough evidence,
I want
I'll hit up a
a
judge.
warrant. Never mind then.
You can run that on the chemical analyzer.
Oh, yep. A chemical analyzer. Here we go.
This paint is not common. It's probably a mix of multiple paints, which is why the database can't find a match.
Okay, so that's fine.
Message received, 3:30 p.m.
Patrick, are you there? I know you're there. Pick up. Damn it, Patrick. This unprofessionalism has to cease. Get down here with that painting and statue ASAP. And if they're not done, you come deal with Rachel Maddox. She's climbing the walls, not to mention my ass. Take half an hour and put some finishing touches on and bring that blasted art. I need her final payment today to cover up well, damn it, just get down here. This witch is finding new depths of unpleasantness, and we have to calm her down somehow. And Patrick, if you're not here within the hour, my next call will be to my attorney to instruct him to sue your egotistical irresponsible ass. Understood?
Wow, doesn't sound much like the host and ally we know. Sounds like Ackerman was on the edge.
Yes, it does. What else can we search? Yes, his shoe. Okay, definitely a match. Ooh, there's something there. No?
Goodness, I don't know. Perhaps I stepped in it when I found her. I'm sure that must be it. I just don't remember that clearly. It's all a jumble. I wouldn't call it a threat. Patrick was well aware we had a client who was high-strung, and that if that artwork was late, there would be hell to pay. Well, why should I pay it?
No, well, don't tell me it's frozen. What's annoying is the disc is perfectly clean. Well, that's a shame. I don't think it's saved either, so that's even bigger of a shame. Oh, I was hoping to do something with this, but let's find out and see if it's saved or not, shall we? It didn't save. That is really unfortunate, because I was really getting into it. It's right toward the ends of the case, so man, that's upsetting. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. If you enjoyed it, please let me know and I'll start it again. But at this point I think I'm just gonna end it here. But if you want to see more, I will absolutely continue it. So thank you for watching this, and I'll see you all in the next game. So catch you then.